Gosu losing a few units here, and a little bit of a bad would-be drop with that medevac, losing a lot of HP there. And we see a scan trying to get to those units up high, but he's not going to be able to. And now moving in, he could attack the third of HuK. We'll see how HuK's able to respond. Again, he's got a lot of Immortals and then Stalkers on the high ground here. And these Immortals so good versus those Marauders, especially after Stim. Basically two-shotting those Marauders with a little bit of help after the Stim. We see these pylons down here for HuK, not doing too much yet, but he will be able to warp in a few Zealots and harass the mineral line and the planetary fortress here, but actually looks like Gosu with that planetary fortress will be able to shy away any Zealot harass or Stalker harass. As we see Zealots now being warped in, and these Zealots are going to go down very quickly to that planetary fortress. Not much damage going to be done by these Zealots. So there's 3 Zealots getting a few kills there, 1 or 2 each. And now we see Gosu retreating back, and HuK throwing down more pylons. He does have firm map control at this point, as you're able to see on his vision that he can see the majority of the map. Gosu, again, just on his little corner. Gosu now throwing down a number of barracks as well as another command center and a starport. So trying to get into macro mode. If we look at the resource counting station for both players doing a good job macroing up. Not many minerals for each, and the income around 2,000 minerals for both players per minute. So they will soon be on maxed out armies, as we see 185 to 152. So Gosu could press the advantage here, as he does have about a 35 food advantage, and he does have these medevacs, which he had not used to attack earlier. We do see an observer being picked off there with a good scan, but HuK still has all these pylons in the southern portion of this map, and this probe could make trouble later on. Looks like Gosu going to try to establish this gold expansion. HuK not yet on a 4th, producing a forge, a Templar Archives, a Dark Shrine, a second forge. So he's exploring a lot of different tech paths there. He's got many Stalkers in his main, so I wonder if he's expecting Banshee harass or something here. We see more Zealots being warped in, but will they be cost effective? That's 600 minerals worth of Zealots. Let's see how many kills they're able to get. 2 right there. And I do not think that they are going to be cost effective. If anything, though, they are stopping the mining of the of these SCVs right now. So those Zealots going to go down without many kills. This one does have 3, but that planetary fortress doing work here. 9 kills so far, and it did stop the income for just a few moments for Gosu. Now we see Gosu moving out. Not really sure why he's not explored the southern part of this map. It looks like he did take down that proxy there, and he did put down a supply depot just to make sure no more proxies could go down. But there are a number of proxies down there he does not know about. And we see Gosu moving out. HuK now establishing his 4th. Really don't know why he's not taking that one. And Gosu does have 2 more command centers going down, so maybe getting a little bit out of hand. As we see the resource count, he's not able to handle all these minerals coming into him from the gold expansion. Both players maxed out armies, so we will see a confrontation here. We see a scan, and these Templar are at the front, able to be focused down by Gosu, so no storms going off by those Templar. A good scan and focus fire by Gosu there. And he should move up here against the units of HuK. HuK does have a split army. All those Stalkers were in his main. So Gosu could have taken out this 3rd expansion with that split army and those Templars taken down. It looks like instead he will take down this 4th. HuK could cancel this, as it is not yet warped in. We'll see if he does. Again, if we see the cubes here, it means he does cancel, and he has canceled there. So Gosu preventing that expansion, but not doing much damage. And now we see, looks like Gosu going to try to retreat back here. HuK in position. He's got a good split. He's got his Immortals in front. Not going to be able to do an attack here. Gosu does not have his medevacs or his Vikings with him. So these units are going to be susceptible. A split army for Gosu. Needs to get these medevacs back. But it looks like all these units are going to go down. The Immortals perfect counter to the heavy Marauder ball of Gosu. Now we have a Blink coming in here, trying to finish up the Marines and Marauders, and then he can start in on these medevacs, able to take those down. And wow, we see HuK 178 compared to the 129 of Gosu. So HuK losing very few units there and demolishing Gosu's entire army, setting up another few proxy pylons. Did warp in a few zealots as well to try to harass this planetary fortress, but they're going to be no match. They probably should have gone on the SCVs, could have gotten a number of kills. We see more zealots coming in here with a few High Templar. High Templar will be able to storm these SCVs on the mineral line. See another command center being built, so many command centers for Gosu at this point, not really able to handle this income. Tried to throw down a number of barracks as well. He's on 15 barracks, but he is not producing out of those barracks. Looks like we have HuK trying to take down this planetary fortress. He's going to be able to do that with these immortals, doing extra damage versus those armored buildings. And we see the units of Gosu very split at this point, and HuK just with his large immortal and stalker army with blink, going to be able to come in here. See Gosu with a stim, going to try to move down the ramp here, perhaps a little bit of an early stim, try to lessen the number of HuK's army. Look at the army tab, it is 167 to 140, so Gosu doing his best. We have some storms here, taking down the Marines and the Marauders of Gosu. Gosu doing his best to macro up 14 Marines and 3 Marauders on the way, along with 4 medevacs. HuK going to push up here, try to take down this third expansion, or at least take down this command center. Again, this command center lifting off. It could be placed in the gold if he's able to save that. And now just doing a lot of damage here, HuK is, but not really focusing anything down. Looks like he will be trying to focus down this planetary fortress. All the SCVs are here trying to repair. The mules could repair as well. Planetary fortress very low, down to about 20% HP. And doing work on the immortals here. Again, the immortals not taking much damage from that planetary fortress, only taking 10 damage per shot as long as their shields are still intact. Now we see a number of Marines. They can focus down these immortals, doing quick damage against the shields of the immortals and then able to focus them down after that. Looks like we have medevacs coming in here supporting these Marines, and not enough energy on that High Templar to get a storm on these Marines. See more Vikings coming in, ruling the air, but no air units for HuK at this point. And now both these expansions are up for Gosu. Looks like he's getting an orbital command here, not really sure about that decision. Possibly get another planetary fortress, as we see storms coming in here on these SCVs, trying to tank a little bit of damage for these Marines and Marauders. Not many units for HuK right now, but he's just got the tier 2 and tier 3 advantage, and these storms going down doing so much damage to these Marines, all of them very low life. They are able to plow through these immortals quite quickly. HuK does have these pylons and able to warp in more units. We see another set of storms going off, able to handle all those Marines, and now HuK combining those Templar into Archons here. The splash damage of the Archons able to clean up the Marines as they are low because of the stim and the storms. Looks like these Archons getting a little bit out of sorts with the rest of the army, can possibly be taken down by these Marines. This guy doing a lot of damage to these Marines though, while his shields remain high, and finally taken down. HuK looks like he instead concentrated on taking down that orbital command, but Gosu has another command center. He can land right there. If we look at the income tab of both players, Gosu very low on the harvester count, 29 harvesters to 85 for HuK. HuK's now establishing this 4th and 5th base, and Gosu is just on the 1 mining base here. He's all mined out in his main and in his natural for the most part, and he has not yet gotten this 4th and 5th yet established. See HuK preventing the this command center from going down here, and it looks like Gosu had lost his medevacs. I believe, watching this, he did have about 8 medevacs, 7 medevacs, which were not with the rest of his army, so that could have made a little bit of a difference. But HuK was just able to take that advantage and defend his 3rd or his 4th here, and he caught Gosu out of position. All those Marauders went down to the perfect counter army of Immortals and Stalkers, and then the medevacs were on the right hand side. They came in a little bit late, not able to help the Marines and Marauders, and Gosu was not able to recover there. At the same time, he was not macroing up very well after he did get this gold expansion. Eventually he threw down, I think, 13, 15 barracks and was trying to macro up, but HuK just kept the constant pressure on. He had great map control with all of these pylons as well. So hopefully this was a pretty good game to watch, and you were able to learn something from HuK's point of view as well. Check out all those battles, maybe rewind a little bit if you were paying attention to the cast and not HuK's vision. Check out the buildings that he throws down once he sees the build of his opponent. Check out when the battles are going on, how his screen is constantly moving and macroing up, warping in more units, harassing off these proxy pylons. Very, very interesting to see these top players taking those 200 some actions per minute, and more importantly, thought per minute. Just able to overwhelm Gosu here. Gosu's final APM was 144 there compared to HuK's 190, and HuK Macro Master had so many more probes and was able to keep his income high and, more importantly, use it compared to Gosu. So hopefully you enjoyed this style of casting. If you did, leave me a comment. Channel is matronstarcraft at youtube.com. So visit, let me know what you thought of this, and I'll bring you more if you like this style of cast. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.